Most writers don't actually fail at the pitching process. They actually fail at ever starting the process to begin with. And so I've been thinking a lot about how writers look at pitching magazines in the first place. And a lot of them think of it as this big, huge, intimidating process where editors are sitting back judging everything that you send in. And they do, um, but not for the reasons that you think. And I'll get to that in a minute. And, I totally get it because for a long time, I thought of pitching magazines as sort of this big, complicated, intimidated process. And I realized that that thought process could not be further from the truth. What the truth is that when you don't pitch, you can never improve or have your work looked at or anything like that. And so for a lot of us as writers and really just creative people in general, we have a stark fear of rejection. And so we stick to things where we feel comfortable. For a lot of people, that could be journaling. You stick to the type of writing that you feel most comfortable with. I know for myself, I stuck to content marketing for a long time, which because it took me a long time to be able to learn it. Um, I took, I won't say I took a lot of classes, but I sat with people um, who taught me a lot of things about it. And so I felt confident in doing the content marketing. Um, but after some years, I got really tired of writing about software. And so I wanted to do something different. And what stopped me from doing the something different was my fear of rejection, my fear of whether or not I could come up with any ideas, whether or not I could ever be creative enough. I felt like I was an outsider to the process, because I didn't really know anybody in the magazine industry. I didn't really know what editors actually wanted, and that's also a thing. And so when you don't know what editors are looking for, um, it's like anything. You just sort of you make assumptions about what people are looking for, and so you wind up not doing anything. And so you want to wait until you feel ready. Um, and of course, the feeling ready never really comes. I've been pitching magazines for pitching magazines purposely for a couple of years and been doing the pitching process for at least 10, 11 years in other areas and doing corporate content marketing. Um, and you never really feel ready. There's always, because like even for myself right now, I want to be able to expand the type of magazines that I want to be able to get into. Um, and for some reason there's always that feeling of, oh, maybe my writing isn't good enough yet. Still, even for myself, after doing this sort of work for 11 going on 12 years now, you still have those feelings of fear. um, However, what made me finally get up and pitch was what made me finally get up and pitch was just feeling like if I don't make this turn in my writing career, I will never do it. I'm 48 years old now, and as you get older, you just sort of feel like it becomes more and more clear that the number of chances, the number of opportunities that you have to be able to live life as you want is starting to wane. And I don't want to make this depressing, um, but there's a truth to that, that life is finite, um, that we don't get forever to be able to do the things that we want to do. And so if we wanted something, if there's a way that we want to be able to live our lives, and for me, being more of a creative writer was important to me. And so for me, pitching magazines was a part of that creativity that I wanted to live. Um, so that made me actually get up and say, you know what? Now is the time. I need to be able to do this. Let me figure out how to be able to do that. And what has surprised me in the process is that my creativity has always been there. I kind of felt like, okay, okay, I felt like what all the stuff that I had done, all the stuff that I had done before I actually got to the pitching magazines, I had been doing creative work this whole time. I don't know why I felt like pitching magazines was going to be some new thing. Like I've never used this level of creativity before. The truth is, I've always been a creative person. I've always done creative things, even when I was working in corporate, even when I was working in higher education, when I was doing all sorts of other things. My creativity was always there. So now I'm just getting an opportunity to use that creativity on projects that I actually want to do. So it's not that um, I wasn't creative enough or anything like that. I'm just now fully using my creativity 100% in the way that I've always wanted to be able to use it. How messy or imperfect has this process been? It's been messy as hell. I mean, I'm just trying stuff. I come up with ideas for things that I want to be able to write, and learning how to be able to express myself in ways that I'm not used to. That's a process in and of itself. Even doing things like these YouTube videos, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. No idea what the hell I'm doing. But I know that there are people who actually watch my channel, and they enjoy watching my channel. And so because I've taken the leap into doing the magazines the way that I want to be able to do them, this has been an opportunity for me to even jump further into other areas that I'm not so used to be able to doing. So pitching magazines has really become part of how I've built a sustainable writing life, and not just something that I just sort of did at one time. So what I wanted to do to be able to help people to become magazine writers, so, because I meet a lot of women who have backgrounds that are very similar to what I have. You've done, you're smart women, very well educated, like myself. I have a master's degree in education. Have always been considered myself a writer, been very good at writing. Writing has always been very easy for me. But I've always just sort of gotten other skills in other places to be able to make a life, because I felt like that was the thing that I needed to do. And so now that I am in my 40s, since I've been in my 40s, I have been giving myself permission to do other things that are more suited to the person that I actually incarnated on earth to be. And so I meet a lot of other women around, Black women in particular, Black women my age, who have experienced very similar lives. You've done all the stuff for everybody else. Maybe you're married, or even you're still married, and you feel like you've given a lot to your family, you've given a lot to work, you've given a lot to your community. And it's time for you to be able to get up and do some things for yourselves, because you also realize that, time's a ticking. You don't get forever to live your way the way that you want. And while I think there's always time for people to be able to change their lives, what better time than the present to be able to do that? And so if you want to take your first step towards writing in magazines, what I have done is I have taken 5 of my own personal pitches that have been successful, 5 successful magazine pitches. I share them with you in this freebie that I put together. And in this freebie, as I said, I give you the pitch, and then I also give you a link to the actual published magazine article, so that you have you can see sort of what it looks like to have the vision for the actual pitch versus what the actual published magazine article looks like. And I think you'll see that the ideas that you have now are enough for you to be able to get started. All right, so I am putting a link in the description box for this particular freebie. You're going to click on it. You're going to go to the new website, and you're going to it's going to ask for you to put in your name and your email address, and you'll get everything in your email box. I'm also teaching a pitching magazines class. It's coming up in February. We start on February 22nd. It's an 8-week group course where I am working with a group. It's usually going to be women, but men are welcome as well. Where we are going to practice pitching. I'm going to give you all the basics of everything that I know about how to pitch. We will have space for you to be able to share your pitching process with other people in the group. I will have an opportunity to review some of your pitches before you send them out, until you feel comfortable with what it is that you are sending. And get your pitches out into the world. I can't guarantee, I can't. People ask me if I can guarantee you being placed in magazines. What I can guarantee is that if you do the work, your work will lead you towards getting closer to getting into the magazines that you want to be able to get into. And of course, I have a whole process for you to be able to get yourself started, so that you can feel like, I won't say it's easier to be able to get in, but places that are friendly to beginners, so that you can get your feet wet, and then you can just sort of start to move into other spaces as you see fit. So go ahead, click on the link, put in your name and your email address, and let's be in communication with each other. So go ahead, like this video, hit the subscribe button so that you can get all of the updates to the videos that I put up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what part of the world you are in. I talk to people all over the world, and I love to be able to know who's here. So thank you for hanging out. Let's get those magazine pitches out into the world, so that you can be the type of creative you've always dreamt about. Peace.